Welcome to PRIME Latino Media Salon. I'm TíoLouie, and disclaimer, I don't recycle because we have such wonderful jewels in our community that if we're not careful, we're always interviewing the same 5 people. And that ain't happening in PRIME Latino Media over the last 10 years. But you know what? I'm recycling for a second time Elaine Del Valle because she only keeps on doing incredible stuff all the time. And I got to sit her down because if I haven't interviewed her in a few years, then I need an hour. And we're not going to spend an hour. Siri, alarm in 7 minutes.
I set your alarm for 12:50 p.m.
And you know we're going to go over 7 minutes. But anyway, at least to give us some sort of a demarcation, I have Elaine Del Valle, who embodies what we call a multi-hyphenated independent artist. She is a theatrical producer, playwright, actor, which I put an actor, is beyond an actress because she's truly an actor that has worked across film and television. She has sold a pilot to CBS, so she's now a television writer. She has shadowed on an ABC primetime network television series, Queens, where she was acting. And it just shows you the gumption you have to have in the industry and tenacity, which she's proven that over the years, that she was on the show as an actor, that she had the gumption to ask, can I shadow the director? And they said yes. Has anyone ever said no to Elaine? No. So we have Elaine Del Valle here, who I saw many years ago in a theatrical production that she wrote, produced, and starred in a one-woman show called Brownsville Bred. Welcome, Elaine. Welcome to PRIME Latino Media.
Thank you so much for having
And
me, TíoLouie.
and it is remarkable to also see, and I saw several incarnations of Brownsville Bred. I think I saw it once, if not twice, at the Puerto Rican Poets Cafe. And it was wonderful evolution because I remember loving the second one because it had a different ending than the first one. And then I saw when you did it, I think was it Brooklyn College. I also saw I've gone to 3 of your performances, and now you've achieved your life dream with your autobiographical story coming from the projects of Brownsville in Brooklyn, where now you've made it into a feature film. Brownsville Bred, which has won the South by Southwest Audience Award. When your audience loves you, that is the greatest prize in the world. How did you feel when you got Brownsville Bred noticed in Texas at a preeminent film festival like South by Southwest by the audience?
Well, I
How did
have to say, just being there was a really big deal. It was our premiere, and just getting into a festival like that just makes all the difference in the world. It's where I was able to get the attention of an agent. So now I'm repped as a director and a literary as a writer and director, which is really hard to get. And I got my the agency that I would have wanted from the very beginning, like on my vision board. I don't have a vision board, but in my head there's a vision board, and I got that agent's attention, and I'm so lucky to have that. So being there, and then of course just being there is a big deal. But then again, getting an audience award there just meant the world to me, and we were sold out for all of our screenings. It's just really special. But a lot of the times it's not about the prize; it's about all the people that you get a chance to meet and be with, and just feel the pride of the moment.
And you were featured with your film at the Series Fest, at the Catalyst Stories
Yes.
Downtown LA Film Festival, and then you're coming back home to the Urbanworld Film Festival, and Caceres, who we all loved in the industry from the New York International Latino Film Festival, who was the preeminent programmer and used to program at the Urbanworld Film Festival, giving it that Latino flair in what has historically been predominantly an African American film festival that has expanded its horizons. And he died, and we tragically lost him. And in honor of him, they're having a number of films featured. And Tag, you're one of them.
Yes. Juan Caceres and I, we had a really He met me actually. I was performing Brownsville Bred as a one-woman show downtown at the New York Poets Cafe, he came to see me off Broadway when I was off Broadway at 59 theaters as well. But when he saw my performance at that time, he was producing a movie called Elliot Loves by Gary Terracino, and they had been searching for the role of Carmen
That
for so long.
that you were in,
Yes.
and the film screened on HBO Latino.
Yes, yes, because he won a big major prize with it, but the role of Aunt Carmen they weren't able to find. And then Juan saw my performance and said they sent me an email and said our producer saw your performance and we'd like you to come in for this role. And I came in and they told me on the car ride home that I had gotten it. And so Juan has always been a champion of my work. And when he saw Brownsville Bred was being made into a film, he was the first person to say, I'm so happy. I cannot wait to see it. And then, of course, when he saw it and he said, I want this for Urbanworld, like this has to premiere at Urbanworld. And it's just really special that we were one of the films that he really championed. And so being a part of an honoring of him as a part of Urbanworld is certainly really special. We're playing in what we filmed is actually the first act of a full-length feature film that I wrote, because that's what we could afford to make. And then we put it on the festival circuit as a pilot. So I did deck it out as a series, as a serialized anthology series. But I wrote this as a feature film, and I just filmed the first act of it. And we are playing in front of a feature film, A Good Egg, that is by another Latina director.
But this is why I'm interviewing you a third time, because you embody the best of Prime Latino media. What I've defined when you say, well, we only did act one because that's all we could afford. But that's what also defines independent, artists. And you embody in Prime Latino media, when we say a proven multimedia maker, actor, and musician, you are someone who embodies independent projects that you've taken oftentimes out of your own pocket to completion, from initiation to completion to accolades. When someone like you has a film that is adored by the audience at the South by Southwest in Texas, a Puerto Rican woman rocking in, a predominantly a Mexican American state, and you win the jury award. I mean, the audience award, which, so it's a testament to you. And that's how Hollywood will notice you.
Well, I
But
think it's a testament to the story as well. It's just such a beautiful father-daughter story with an incredible arc. And it just makes you feel. So I feel like the audience very often after it screens somewhere, and it's screened many places besides the ones that you've talked about. I've only ever put it into top tier festivals because the intention is I want to put it into any festival that's going to help it when it does become, when I finish the feature, which I'm on the road to doing now. So yeah, it's really a journey, this filmmaking process for me. It's longevity. I'm in it I love the journey. So it's not about what I accomplish, is that I'm accomplishing it. It's the art that's being made, and for people to recognize that, and to every time it screens, for people to come away with it and say, I was thinking about that last night. I was thinking about your film yesterday, and then they're talking to me. So like, it's really special when you have potential producers moving forward, reminded of the work and the way that it made them feel, and that's how they get behind it. And that's always been the story with Brownsville Bred. The story, whether I had done it as a play, as you know, it's also a novel. So it made people feel a certain way, and they like to feel that way. So that's what I know, that the on the screen, it's also delivering that.
and besides being a proven multimedia maker and actor, uh tenacity is what also defines you. That's how you've made it. That's how, you have the gumption during a show that you're in as an actor, but that your strategic plan and your goal is you want to direct episodic television, but no one's going to, no one's going to entrust a $4 to $5 million budget, which is what a typical episode on
Mhm.
primetime television costs, unless you've had experience shadowing. So, you're doing the right thing, but I'm sorry to report you are being upstaged.
Oh, by my dog.
Yes, exactly. Happy, who's been like
He's
coming
17
in and
years old,
coming.
so I know how to take care of things too.
Oh my God. And longevity, because your dog's just like coming in and out behind you. You are the focus, but you're being upstaged by your dog.
I'm sorry, I
Um,
can't do anything. I won't do anything about that.
and so quickly and last, can you tell me about the journey from theater to inspire others? And then not only are you making it a film, but you were making it during the pandemic. And you were casting in the pandemic, you were shooting in the pandemic, and as we're still at the tail end of it, your baby is born. So can you tell us quickly about that journey?
Sure. It never mattered to me that it was the pandemic because always in my head, it's always been my passion is directing. I'm an artist. I love acting. I studied acting. I will act in anything because I love acting but I'm not in control of that. But when I'm writing, I'm in control of the stories that I'm writing, and I write so that I can direct because my true passion is really directing. And so I made a commitment to myself that I was going to direct at least one film per year, one short film per year. I have stayed with that commitment. During the height of the pandemic, I also threw myself into writing, and that's what led to me selling a show to CBS. Is I threw myself into creating in case I wasn't able to finish it. Then with Brownsville Bred, this was just my latest film that and probably my most important film because I expect it to be my feature film directorial debut. And I've made many shorts now, very successful shorts. You can watch Princess Cut on HBO. It won the HBO Latinx Director Award last year, or I should say 2 years ago. Before that, Me 3.769 landed on HBO because it won festivals. So, and now it's Brownsville Bred, and I'm a Warner Media 150 artist, which is not only was it me supporting it, which I always like, just save up because I have to finish something to show my growth and to have growth, to express that growth and onto the screen and show people I'm not going away. And Brownsville Bred, it's such a personal story. I think every time you're making something, it really is about um, what is it about you that's going to make this project different? What can you bring to it, whether it's something that you've written or not? With Brownsville Bred, it's the ultimate what I can bring to it. I am the best person to tell this story, and I know it like the back of my hand. Um, and I'm just really excited to share it with people and to move forward. So what we filmed is actually the 8-year-old part. If you think about Moonlight and the fact that it's in multiple ages, you can think about Brownsville Bred, and we shot out the 8-year-old part. And when we resume filming, it'll be with the teenager, which
And
which
and
we've been casting.
and I can't close the interview without, why am I recycling you a second time? The second time, the first time I recycled you, it was also to prove to the world your heart for community, your heart for the Latino community. I mean, not only do you work on your stuff, I mean, you were behind Lena Sarelo with Denizen when she developed a TV pilot. When I interviewed you last, I brought on stage at the Prime Latino Media Salon when we met in person, not just relegated to Zoom, when you backed Alan Alfaro's film, the young Cuban Puerto Rican director
Yeah,
that you backed his film also.
and he's
So,
working on another one right now. So
oh, I bumped into him 2 months ago and he like stopped me, told me he was working on that. He lit up, and it's always about Elaine, what you've done with the great guitarist
Edwin Vasquez.
Edwin
Yeah.
Vasquez, that you not only fell in love with his music at one of our Prime Latino Media Salons, but again, you're the type that you just don't talk. When you say to someone, I like you, how can I help you? And
Right.
you've incorporated his music into your productions.
It's
And
a
then,
very important part of the production, and I heard it through you. So thank you. We were together in that in that interview that you were doing with us when we sold Grandpa Knows Best. I
William
I
Caballero. I
That's
mean,
right.
we
Yeah,
could
William
sit here for,
Caballero. Andrew
you helped,
Garcia was the other filmmaker, by the
which
way.
you got into HBO Latino and stuff like that. So, why am I
And
wearing the
Adele
top?
Morales.
Oh, and Adele Morales this past summer, you're also a casting person. You have a casting company.
Right,
You
CSA Cast.
cast, you cast for his independent film,
Yeah,
Latino film, which is a coming of age vampire, drama
drama.
called Born Astray. And, so on behalf of the Latino, independent artistic community, ranging from musicians to multimedia makers and actors, thank you for all the work you do. And we are cheering you all the way to, I see in my Latino Caribbean crystal ball, I see at the very least an Emmy or an Academy Award, at the very least a nomination. And when you get up there, remember us. And I know you will never, ever forget us because you've proven that for 10, 15 years that I know you. So congratulations, on also being in the Sundance Lab directing program. You were one of 9 selected. It's not just something that I want to be there. You got picked for it. You're in the Writers Guild of America East in the Showrunners
In the
Academy.
Showrunner Academy.
So,
Yeah, it's a really big deal.
you're throwing stones out there that whether it's going to be a bestseller book or it's going to be more theatrical productions or it's going to be your feature films or it's going to be you directing episodic TV, someone to watch for. And she's from our community. She's by, about, and for the community. We love you. And here's to the next interview when I bring you back again with more successes that you're doing. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, TíoLouie. I appreciate you.
Elaine Del Valle here at Prime Latino Media Salon. I'm the humble TíoLouie, and my hat goes off to you. Take care. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too.